warmed up, we're going to do T's, Y's, and I's. Now, sometimes people will do these standing with their palms facing up, sometimes different hand positions depending on what exactly you're trying to target. And sometimes people will do these bent over. So when I'm doing T, Y's, and I's, choose your own adventure. I'm pulsing my hands back towards the wall behind me. In my case, it's a real wall. In your case, it may be an imaginary wall. All walls are good walls. And when I'm standing upright and I'm doing this, I'm getting some strengthening for my shoulders and some strengthening across my upper back. The resistance for my upper back muscles is coming primarily from the tightness across my chest and the muscles going across the front of my body. So obviously they're tying into the arms as well here, and you may feel some fun happening in your biceps as you pulse your hands back towards the wall behind you. So this is the T position, and as I mentioned before, you can do this bent over, bringing your hands back behind you as well. And then the Y position is literally the Y from the YMCA. We're checking in with the shoulders, dropping them down. Hands are staying up high, and I'm still bringing my hands behind me towards that wall. Now, it may help you to pause with your hands back towards the wall, check in with your shoulders, drop them down a little bit further, release the hands, drop the shoulders a little further, and just keep that focus on the shoulders. Sometimes people draw their shoulders down as their hands go back. However, it helps you to remember not to let the shoulders slowly drift up towards your ears. When things get hard, quite often our shoulders drift up towards our ears. So if your workday has been hard and then your workout is hard, that's a lot of shoulders as earrings time. And what we want is our bodies to be long and tall through our spine. The shoulders up by the ears doesn't help that and can actually be part of a repetitive stress injury cycle. So that's Y's. And now coming up to I position here. Again, shoulders are down, hands are high, just a slightly different angle on this, and we're pulsing our hands back in space. Now, regardless of what hand position you like for the T, when you're doing the I, the palms will be facing in towards each other, and I'll be bringing my thumbs back behind me. However, if you want to, just for fun and the magic of the human body, play and bring the backs of your hands behind you. Just see if you can feel the difference. That hand position totally changes how your muscles are working, and after you do a few reps, you may be able to feel a little bit of change in there. Beautiful. So now that we've gotten a little bit of warm up for our shoulders, let's take a couple of deep shoulder rolls here. And then I'm going to bring my right arm across my body, help myself into the stretch with my left arm, and just sort of relax into this stretch. When I'm relaxing into this stretch, I'm allowing the shoulder to drop down. I'm finding the stretch on the outside of my shoulder here. So finding the right level with my left hand to be pulling on my right arm. And then I can play with some angles. I can see what happens when my shoulder comes up a little bit, down a little bit. I can lean my head towards the left. I could even roll my head back and forth slightly here. And I can play with the position of my right hand. So if my right hand is angled up a little higher, down a little lower, that's fine. Maybe I prefer to work in and out of the stretch a little bit. That's fun to explore too. And give it a little shake out, and we'll go to the other side. If you need another shoulder roll just to reset some things, totally understand. And now my left arm is going across the body. Right hand is helping me into the stretch, and I take a moment to relax into the stretch. Maybe it looks like a couple of really deep breaths. Maybe think about relaxing your shoulders away from your ears, not forcing them down, of course, but just relaxing them down and checking in that your right hand is giving a really great amount of stretch to the outside of your left shoulder here. More pain is not more gain in stretching, so don't feel like you have to go big or go home or anything like that. Right-sized challenges are good for your body, just like they're good for your brain. And now playing with the angles. So either the height of my left hand, bringing it up a little bit, down a little bit, playing with my neck angles here. You know, either I'm tipping the top of my head towards my right or rocking my head back and forward in space a little bit. Beautiful. I just had something pop up on my screen that I'm going to get rid of. Hopefully that's not a problem. And we're going to move on to our next stretch. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be getting in a little bit of a chest stretch just by engaging the muscles through the back here and opening up through the body. To do this, I want to be sort of imagining I'm doing a pull-up. Really drop the shoulders, bring the elbows back in space behind me. Maybe even bring my head back in space so that my chest bone right here is the highest point in my chest. It's coming up towards the ceiling a little bit. And then I'm going to alternate by rounding out through my back a little bit here, tucking my chin. Beautiful. And we're going to reach behind ourselves now, sort of at this lower diagonal kind of an angle. Reaching back behind myself. Take a really deep breath in here. Try to fill up the front of your chest with air just to amplify the stretch. And letting it go. And closing in through the front of your body, rounding out through your back, tucking your chin. Beautiful. Last one here, I'm actually going to put my hands on my hips. I'm going to draw my elbows back in space, and I'm going to look up at the ceiling, dropping shoulders, opening up through that chest as much as possible here, just to get a slightly different angle on a chest stretch. Beautiful. And now just another couple of shoulder rolls. And we're going to move into a tricep and lat stretch. So we're going to be stretching the muscles between your elbow and your shoulder here on the outside of your arm. I'm going to reach up with my right hand, hinge at the elbow, and now reach down my back. You don't have to be reaching all the way down your back for this to work, but any angle through your elbow will help. And now I'm going to take my left hand, hold onto my right elbow, and just help myself into the stretch. If it hurts, try backing off. Try just hanging out here. See if that feels like the right level of stretch. You don't have to pull on your body. It's just an additional option. If I am feeling good here, I can play with angles. So I could drop my shoulder down a little bit more. I could reach down my back a little bit further. I can add a little bit of a lateral bend through my spine to see how that changes the stretch. And I can always approach it really mindfully, like what part of my body from here to here am I feeling the biggest stretch in? Does it feel good? Do I want to do this stretch more often? Do I never want to do it again? And let's switch sides. So now my left arm is going up, bending at the left elbow, holding onto the left elbow with my right hand, and reaching down my back with my left hand. Just trying to get this stretch here, get the right size challenge for whatever my body's up for today. And how you felt yesterday isn't always relevant on how you're feeling today. And then if you're ready to play with angles, checking in, dropping the shoulder a little bit more, reaching down your back a little further. Taking a few deep breaths, seeing how that changes things, if it does for you. Maybe adding that lateral tilt, just to push that a little bit more into lat territory. Beautiful. Whenever you're ready, come on out. And then instead of our shoulder rolls as a little shakeout, we're going to do a little ladder climbing stretch. So basically this just means reaching up with my right hand. And I take a deep breath in as I'm reaching up with my right hand. And then my right hand's going to come down. I'm going to exhale. And I'm going to reach up with my left hand. Now I'm reaching up so high that my shoulders aren't staying even with the floor. I'm getting a little bit of lateral bend through my spine here. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, back and forth at your own pace. And of course, if for some reason it just feels too good to be in this position and you're having a good time there, you could take a couple of breaths here, inhaling and exhaling, just honoring the cue that your body's giving you of like, oh, that feels so good. That's awesome. Hang on to that. Don't forget to honor your other side too, though. So if you have been doing one side primarily, switching to the other side now, just so you have time, hang out there. And if you've been going back and forth, you don't have to worry about anything. You've already been honoring both sides. Beautiful. So now what we're going to do is a bit of a twist. I'm going to face this direction so that when I twist, I will be facing you again. And I'm going to be twisting to the left. So I'm going to inhale, lengthen through my spine like somebody has one of my hairs and they're pulling me straight up. And then on my exhale, I'm going to twist. And now every single inhale, I'm going to lengthen through my spine a little bit more. Real or imaginary, just going for that lifted, long, tall posture can help you be kind to your spine here. And then every exhale, I'm going to twist a little further. Now, of course, it is helpful to keep my hips in one spot so that I'm gifting my spine a little bit more movement with each breath. And if you get to the end of your range of motion and you're not twisting any further, that is totally fine. Hang out where you're comfortable, enjoy the stretch, or if you would like, you can add hands, help yourself into the stretch just a little bit more. Beautiful. Come back to center. And/or I will face the other direction. You do need just a little wiggle break because you spent a little bit of time in there. Think about what would be nice for you. So maybe that's a little bit of wiggling laterally or rounding and arching. Sometimes a little bit of experimentation that you would do gently so you don't do more harm than good is helpful. Now we're going to go back and long, tall posture. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. We'll take another moment to hang out here. But if you are getting to a point where you're like, oh gosh, I'm bored, think about the side to side differences. Can you go further on this side than you were able to on the other side? Lovely. And we're going to come back to center now. Again, doing that little wiggle break, rounding forward, getting in some movement just to shake out whatever kinks were happening in your body. And we're just going to take care of our neck to finish off. Dropping left ear to left shoulder and rolling your head back and forth a little bit here. Just enjoying the ankles. If you want to, you can reach away. That will intensify the stretch a little bit. And then to the other side. So now my right ear is towards my right shoulder. If I would like to, I could reach away. Or if I would like to, I can just rock back and forth. And now roll to the front. So your head is over your left shoulder. And roll your head to the right. You can go back and forth a couple more times if you would like, or if you're ready, you can bring your head back on top of your shoulders. I would like you to just take one moment to notice how your head is kind of a big bowling ball being held up by your tiny little neck, and how amazing it is that our bodies can support our bowling ball heads. We should just all say thank you to our bodies more often. And we'll end with a really deep breath. So inhaling your arms up, exhaling them down, and I hope you all have a fabulous afternoon.